One of the most important things you can do to ensure that you have a beautiful hospital birth is to unify your birth team. There's a few simple steps in how to do that. So I want you to take just a moment and I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture that baby after it's come out and it's on your chest. I want you to picture that wet baby right underneath your nose, what that baby smells like. I want you to look up at your partner. What does your partner's face look like? Take a glance around the room and see what the nurses and the doctors look like and how calm and peaceful it is. You may have a mother in there, maybe an in-law, maybe a doula. Look at their faces. And if you were looking at your face, would you be crying? Would there be tears, smiles? The feeling in the room is the only thing that you can control. So start to envision and feel what you want that to feel like. Your baby's first experience in the world should be peaceful, calm, welcoming, loved, beautiful, and everything should be mellow. That is the only thing that you can control in this birth. So that's our goal, a peaceful, calm, beautiful place for your baby to come into. Now let's figure out how to get there. Unifying your birth team works best if you evaluate your perceptions of what everybody else's roles are in your birth. Do you have agendas of what everybody's bringing into your birth, or do you see everybody coming in wanting to help you have the most beautiful birth possible? I like to use the law of attraction when it comes to setting up your birth for success. And basically the law of attraction in simplest form is that whatever you put out there is what's going to come back to you. So if you're putting out peace and beauty and love and calm and no drama, then that's what you're going to be attracting. And everybody around you is going to follow suit. So the first thing you need to set up with the law of attraction is trust. Who do you trust to be at your birth? And trusting that the staff, who you don't know who it's going to be at the hospital because the shift has not begun yet, is that you are going to get the most competent and supportive people for your birth. You need to start trusting and believing that that will actually happen, and that's what you will attract. So your home team consists usually of your partner, yourself, a doula, perhaps a best friend. I like to keep it simple because the more intimate your birth team is, the better experience you usually have. Everybody needs to be on the same page. What do you and your partner envision for your birth? Peaceful, calm, delicious, intimate? Then that's what you build from. And the way to build that is education. If you all have the same education, know what to do in whatever scenario the birth fairy brings to you, the smoother the birth's gonna go. Education really relinquishes and helps you surrender any fears that you have so that your body works as optimally as possible. We've talked about creating a vision for your birth and the feeling that's present when that baby emerges and is landing on your chest, but there's many ways to get to that vision. Yes, you can create a birth plan, but I like to call them preferences instead of plan. Preferences give you more ebb and flow and wriggle room when a hiccup may show up so that it's not such a shock and you can deal with it calmly and peacefully and keep it right on track to where you're headed. The way to have a drama-free birth is for you and your birth team to be solidly adaptable. Go with the flow of your birth and surrender to whatever comes, holding tight to that feeling of yummy, calm, and peaceful for your baby to enter the world. So it's important to remember that the hospital staff, the doctors, the midwives, their support team, the nurses, are there to support you. They are your friends. They are part of your team, and they're there to ensure the safety of you and your baby. So questions that may come across as obtrusive and poking and prodding and blood draws and urine samples, those are not meant to annoy you. They're meant to keep you safe, and a checklist for baby safety, most importantly. And if you shift your focus on it's not meant to annoy me, it's meant to keep me safe, you deal with it so much better. So time and time again with my hypnobirthing students even, I have them focus on the most supportive and competent staff attending their birth. no matter what shift, no matter what time of day they go into labor, the right people at the right time. And they come back time and time again telling me, the right doctor, the right nurse, the right phrase. I wouldn't have done it without them. And I couldn't have done it without them. It happens over and over when parents are focusing on what they want and trusting that's what they'll get, than focusing on their lack of or what they're scared they're not going to get. I want you to put yourself in the nurse's shoes. Honestly, they have the hardest job in the hospital. They walk a very thin line. If they call the doctor too soon, they get in trouble. If they call the doctor too late and catch a baby, they get in trouble. They are the in-between between you and the doctor, and they have to make sure their checklists are done and they can report back that everything's okay and that you're doing well. It's a fine line for them to have you come in with a 20-page birth plan and them making sure that they haven't missed something on their list while trying to accommodate your needs too. They have a big job. Those nurses need to be rewarded for what they're about to bring to your birth. And working with them instead of coming in adversarially or working against them is only going to serve you better. So one of the things that I help my parents create is a beautiful thank you card for the nurses and the staff before they ever show up to the hospital, thanking them for being a part of their birth team and creating a beautiful birthday for their baby, and expecting that that's what they're going to get. I also ensure that my parents bring chocolate or go-to treats for the nurses, something that they can grab and snack on while going to another room, because they have a hard job, and it just kind of reminds them that what they're doing is making you feel special and supported. So one other thing I really want to mention is if there's a nurse that has gone out of her way to really make your experience exceptional or has gone above and beyond the call of duty, I want you to make sure you yelp the hell out of them. I want the public to know, I want their hospital to know, more importantly, I want their charge nurse to know. Because that's only going to ensure that they do even better job for the next parent that comes along, and also rewards them for what they're doing on their everyday job to make your birth spectacular. So unifying your birth team really begins with you. Focusing on what can go right instead of what can go wrong is where you start with that shift.